coming to Oakland from England and being around alumni that would come back on a frequent basis for the alumni meet and for dual meets and things like that, it really was a completely different atmosphere in a sport than what I was used to. I was used to very much a separation of, this is an individual sport, and then all of a sudden it became this cool team sport. And Oakland really kind of opened my eyes to that, and we were able to, do really well as a team and lean on each other in a lot of ways. And because of that camaraderie, there's, I feel grounded here. I feel like a lot of my friends from the team are in the immediate area too. So it's been the center of everything that I've done since coming here at 18 years old.
The '94 team was special in a number of ways, and as you mentioned, probably special to everybody in probably their own ways. But for me, it was the culmination of winning or striving to win another championship. The first championship the men won in the 1980 season. I was the assistant coach to the men and head coach for the women, and we hadn't won for obviously a number of years. So winning an individual championship or a team championship for me was important. My first as a head coach, and it was important because we had put together some really outstanding teams in the 80s and in the early 90s, and we came up short a couple of times, even when we thought maybe we had a chance to win. And so winning in '94 was really special for those reasons. And obviously we went on to win 3 more after that before we made the move to and the jump to Division I. So it was truly a fantastic recruiting class we had that year. We'd finished, I believe, second in the country prior to that, like 6, 7, maybe even 8 years in a row. So that was pretty frustrating. Obviously something we're still proud of, being in the top 3 nationally for all those years. But getting to the top and winning the championship was our goal each year, and to finally attain that really meant to me a lot personally and professionally.
That team was important to me, particularly because it was the first time that I was offered a chance to kind of develop my own leadership skills. And that was a huge privilege to be able to be offered a captain position twice and to not really be seeking it, but just have a chance to do it. I'd say the qualities that make that particular team unique was the youth of that team. It's easy to forget, but in '94, I'm guessing about 50% of our team were first-year swimmers at Oakland. That's a huge percentage of brand new people who don't necessarily know what the traditions are, haven't been able to demonstrate their abilities under pressure yet. It was a bunch of potential, but what potential really means is that you haven't done it yet. And the balance of trying to present leadership from some of us who had been there previously in a way to the younger, newer athletes, it wasn't condescending and wasn't overbearing, and letting them be who they were, which frankly was a really unique, talented, and wonderful group of young men, was key to succeeding that year. And I learned a lot. I still think back to those couple of years and the lessons that I learned through success and through failures with the other captains and other leaders on the team. I still apply those today when I come across a group, and never to underestimate the value of the new people in a group. Whether you're there for 5 minutes or 5 years, you have something to bring to the table, and it might be exactly that thing that you guys need as a team to win.
When we went to nationals in Canton, Ohio in 1994, I was 18 years old and a diehard swimmer and a diehard OU, and we worked so hard, and there was a lot of intensity, and the meet was very close, and the girls team was doing well and the guys team was doing well. It was a very, very exciting time to witness all that hard work pay off, months and months of training, years of training, and we were feeding off of each other's success, and it was really fun to witness that national championship. It was it definitely brought tears to my eyes at the time, and it was a very rewarding experience.
There's a lot going on. It's a big meet. There's a lot of bodies on the deck, a lot of bodies in the stands. So there's noise. It was interesting leading up to the meet because we had some meetings prior to leaving where we kind of game played it out, where Pete spent some time assessing where the expectations were, what the points would be, and on paper it looked like it was very doable. But then to go and experience that and see it happening, and I believe we excelled beyond what was anticipated and what was game played out. You could feel as the days progressed, the excitement continued to grow. And I don't recall the specific time of when it clicked where we realized, okay, we've got it. But I don't think we ever went into it without, we were confident going into it that we were gonna have it. This was the time. This was the year.
It was a special week, that's for sure, down in Canton, Ohio. We did have a lot. Fortunately, it was closed 3.5, 4 hours from Oakland, so we had huge crowds, and that obviously helped. A huge alumni presence, the president of the university. A lot of people came down to take part in that. And then the icing on the cake really was winning it with the women's team. They had won 4 in a row while we had finished second in the country 4 years in a row. And to finally be able to win the championship, both teams together, that was special. And I think maybe the culmination of my career here at Oakland University to share it with so many people. The teams were very, very close because we all know the story. One of my former swimmers and former assistant coaches, Tracy Huth and Jeff Cooper, longtime coaches for the women's program, enjoyed a lot of success for those programs. Our teams were very, very, very close. And maybe you don't always see that because of the rivalries and the competition, and to have both teams share in that experience, I think that's what made it even maybe more special than it would have winning it by ourselves.
I didn't really understand what I was coming into, and it took a little while to fully soak in, but I did appreciate the continual presence of the alumni. It was a program that obviously had a lot of history to it even before I arrived. You saw faces on the deck and in the stands that were past swimmers, were past divers, and they were always coming in. And that just brings a level of solidity, a level of consistency that is comforting, right? And that there's a lot to this program. There's a lot going on. I didn't necessarily feel any pressure. They didn't say, hey, you got a legacy to live up to. No, it was just welcoming and encouraging, and so they were always excited for you to know what's going on, to know how things going. They chuckle, they share some of their old stories of what they had to endure, and been there, done that. So just hang in there. So. I'm very grateful, and I think it's still that it continues to happen to this day.
It's such a gift to be a student athlete. There's so much that you can learn and appreciate, and it stretches you in ways that you might not fully understand when you're in the moment. But looking back 30 years ago on the program that we were in, the learning that was going on, the camaraderie, the testing our limits, being better. We learned so much, and it's a testament to, I think, if you follow the life arc of those people, those swimmers back in the day, those student athletes, they've channeled that into a very successful life.
In the moment, it might seem like a grind. It might seem like a blink of an eye, and you might be through part of the season, but man, looking back now with the '94 team, 30 years ago since I was here, and I didn't think I was that old, but I guess I am. So Yeah, it goes quick, and just as much as you can, take some memories, take some pictures, do what you can to just hold on to those things and keep coming back and be part of the continued alumni presence and the experience and the pride.